Shane Gillis and his rise to success is a legendary tale of a very talented stand-up comedian who worked extremely hard, did all the right things, and faced adversity that would end up changing his career for the better. Even after getting hired at Saturday Night Live, just to be fired immediately after, this incident gave Shane a level of infamy in the comedy world that resulted in more eyes on him than ever before, which turned out to be a good thing because Shane had already done the work, and now he could let it speak for itself. And none of this would have happened if it weren't for the perverted journalist Seth Simons, who was the first person to throw Shane under the bus when it was announced he was selected to be a new cast member on SNL. In today's videos, I'll be discussing Seth Sex Pest Simons and Seth's burning hatred for Shane Gillis, which led him to pushing for Shane's firing from SNL and ultimately sent Shane down his current path as one of the most famous and beloved comedians working today. So if all that sounds interesting to you, then let's hop right into it. To understand how Seth's actions led to Shane becoming famous, we need to recap the story of how Shane got hired at Saturday Night Live and then fired right after. To begin with, in 2019, Shane had been having a relatively good year of performing stand-up comedy. He was a regular at all the best comedy clubs in New York City, and additionally, he had just been accepted into the Clusterfest Comedy Festival. Before the festival, his agents had asked Shane if he wanted to submit a packet to become a writer on SNL, to which Shane rejected the offer because he wasn't confident his style of writing would fit on the show. Then Shane would have a really great performance at the Clusterfest Comedy Festival and Just for Laughs, and this is where he would get onto the radar of talent scouts for Saturday Night Live. Now, the process one must undergo just to get an audition at SNL is long and arduous, but the staff liked Shane so much that they allowed him to bypass normal steps of the process and immediately offered him an audition on the main stage. And Shane's audition would go very well. If you want to learn more about that, he talks all about the audition process in this clip from the Joe Rogan Experience. Then after Shane meets the staff and Lorne Michaels, Lorne tells Shane they're going to use him as a cast member and gives him the opportunity to come clean since they often vet their new hires' social media usage on the show. Then on September 12, 2019, NBC made the announcement that Shane Gillis, Chloe Fineman, and Bowen Yang would be the newest cast members on Saturday Night Live for the coming season. Then a few hours later, everyone's least favorite journalist, Seth Simons, would make a tweet with a clip from Matt and Shane's secret podcast, which would say, quote, "Today SNL announced the hiring of its first cast member of East Asian descent, and also this guy." This again is from September 2018. Now the clip was obviously said in jest and not with the intentions of hurting anyone.
Dude, it's fucking Chinese down there.
I wonder how that started. They just built one fucked up looking building and people were like, all right, no one said anything.
Let the fucking live there, huh?
But Seth's tweet would go viral on Twitter. Now, despite the fact that Seth Simons is a weasel who doesn't own a doghouse, let it be known that the clip he found of Shane, he really didn't have to dig that deep for. Shane actually talks a little bit about Seth Simons in this interview with YouTuber Sneeko that took place right after Shane was fired.
Yeah, the same day it was announced that I got SNL, this guy found a clip, which it's not like he dug too hard. It was literally, it's like the first video.
But he
on
probably
YouTube.
had it loaded. He kept
No
that as
way.
ammo.
No, he wouldn't have known I was getting it.
I thought he was a Philly comic, no?
No, he didn't know who I was before that.
No idea.
I doubt it.
Is he an open micer in that from Philly?
I think he was an open micer in Philly. And then I think he became a poet in Brooklyn.
Okay. I saw a video of his poem.
Cool.
It was pretty trash.
That's pretty cool.
Okay.
No, I've listened to his poetry. It's really good.
So even though Shane refused to name him, he still laid a good jab on this absolute fucking loser. After the tweet went viral, Variety would drop a big article about Shane, which spawned a bunch of copycat articles titled, quote, "New SNL cast member Shane Gillis uses racist, sexist, homophobic remarks and resurfaced material," end quote. And this would get the rest of the Twitter mob riled up, ready to dogpile our favorite history enthusiasts. This is when people started to go after NBC and hold Lorne Michaels' feet to the fire about hiring Shane at the same time as Bowen Yang. Lorne Michaels did not want to fire Shane because he sincerely believed in him and his potential as a comedian and thought he would be a good fit for the show. But his hands were tied, and NBC were the ones who ultimately pulled the plug. We'll talk more about Shane Gillis and SNL later on. Then when Shane was fired from SNL, he would start to gain more popularity because of the wave of controversy surrounding his name. People were starting to look him up and realize that the people calling him an unfunny, hacky racist were completely wrong and that he's actually pretty funny. Shane's clip about white people listening to country music would go viral, and a lot of people would approve of Shane's stand-up and how SNL missed out on it in the comments down below. Furthermore, he went on the road doing stand-up gigs at comedy clubs all over the country, and one thing was for sure, the people seeing Shane live felt the exact opposite way about him compared to the goons on Twitter who went after him. Because it turned out Shane was a very funny stand-up comic who got selected to join SNL for a reason, but destiny had a different path for him. One thing Shane did that made a lot of people gravitate towards him was accepting the situation and criticism that came along with it with complete and utter grace. Shane even said very early on he understands why this happened to him given the world that we live in today.
I don't think you said anything wrong.
No, I understand the culture and then why I was fired.
Okay.
I don't think what I did was a fireable offense, but in today's culture it is.
So it makes sense.
So like I understand why everything happened. Like I understand why fucking NBC's sponsors were like, this is kind of a fucking bad look.
Right.
Despite, you know, no one looking into anything or trying to find any facts about anything.
This, along with being legitimately talented, made Shane not also hilarious to watch, but also incredibly likable. On top of that, Shane would be defended by comedians who were legendary and widely respected, like this tweet from the late great Norm Macdonald where he reached out to Shane and offered to talk with him and try to console him about the situation. Norm was someone who was also fired from SNL, as well as one of Shane's heroes, so this call definitely meant the world to him. We also saw Bill Burr back before he took money from the Saudi royal family defending Shane publicly on Comedy Central.
And then I don't get if you say something like that, you can't work in a sketch show, but like it's okay from what? He can work at a lumber yard? Yeah. You know? He's certainly going to meet more Asians there, right? It's a joke about how SNL's not hiring Asians. Jesus Christ. Also, now I'm in trouble? Yeah. We're not running for office. When is this going to end?
Even if you hate what Bill Burr has become now, you have to respect that he spoke out for Shane back when it mattered most. Moving on, Shane would team up with John McKeever to make the sketch comedy show Gillian Keeves, where they would make some legendary sketches such as the Trump speed dating sketch, ISIS Toyotas, the last white football team, and so many more where that came from. A lot of these sketches would acquire millions and millions of views and endless praise from comedy fans who were now diehard Shane Gillis fans. Then Shane would make an appearance on the Joe Rogan Experience where he would open up about his experience getting hired and fired from SNL and all the details surrounding it on the biggest platform in the world. It would also bless us with this legendary clip of Joe Rogan missing a joke from Shane.
If I get fired here, whatever, I'll just go do Joe Rogan next week and I'll be fine. Anyway, I thought that was funny. No? What?
Dude, that never gets old. The appearance would gain millions upon millions of views, and then just a few months later, Shane would release the comedy special titled Live in Austin in September 2019. The special would be praised by nearly everyone and serve as undeniable proof that Shane was funny and deserved all the notoriety and success that was coming his way. Now at this point, Shane had proven he was a success, and to the joy of myself and many other fans, it's nice to imagine that Seth Simons is fucking steaming from his head and foaming at the mouth that the guy he gunned for went from getting fired to being one of the best and most popular working comedians today. The worst part about it for little Seth Simons is he helped Shane make this happen whether he likes it or not. We will discuss more of how Seth Simons continues to attack Shane to this day in a minute. But before that, let's appreciate one more awesome thing that happened for Shane. Shane would then release another great comedy special titled Beautiful Dogs on Netflix, and then something happened that nobody expected. After being fired from Saturday Night Live and becoming successful on his own merit, Shane Gillis would be invited back to host Saturday Night Live. Not once, but twice. Probably 3 times after this year if I had to put some money on it. The reactions to Shane's monologues were mixed, but the fact Shane even did the show to begin with after his firing was a fucking victory lap for him and for comedy as well. Now we could talk more about all the great things Shane is doing, but we will save all the additional developments for a future video. Now we will focus on how Seth Simons has been handling Shane's success just to rub it in his smug face. In case you were wondering, Seth Simons managed to do the impossible and make Norm Macdonald hate his guts. Norm tweeted at him after he got Shane fired, saying, quote, "Hey, you fucking piece of shit, it's you that's the Joker, a failed stand-up that kills someone who got a TV show. I cannot wait to meet you, and I will," end quote. This is so funny, I can't even begin to tell you. Norm isn't alone on this, though. A lot of people hate this guy because of how much of a little fucking weasel he is. We also have plenty of other comedians who have made fun of Seth for being the douchebag that he is, like this classic clip from the greatest comedy podcast of all time.
Seth Simons, if you're listening, go through and find Adam saying deadass.
Oh, Seth Simons, you could fucking bring it, dude. Yeah.
I spent the weekend doing gay research.
What a fucking nerd, dude. You know what the funniest part is? Fucking loser.
That guy sucks.
Is that guy trying to also be a comedian?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's a failed comic.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, he just reeks of failure. I did go search Seth Simons on YouTube with Brandon when he was in town.
Everyone was posting that bird video.
There's the bird video, but what's even better than the bird video is he got involved in Philadelphia street battle poetry. And I feel like this is really lost.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that never gets old. Now, if you take a look at Seth Simons' tweets, he hasn't changed a thing. I guess he writes for the LA Times now, but no one really gives a fuck about that anyway. One tweet that caught my eye was this one right here. It's very funny that Seth has tweeted stuff like this about the sex crimes of Louis C.K. and how Joe List and Mark Norman joked about it, because Seth Simons himself is the same guy that has some very nasty allegations following him about him being some weird fucking perverted sex pest. Seth is throwing stones the size of a baseball in a glass house. He should really humble himself. There's also several more tweets like this one where he mentions Matt McCusker and Shane Gillis yet again. This tweet about Matt McCusker's brother where he got absolutely ratioed in the replies by fans of Matt and Shane, and plenty of other tweets where he just talks about comedians he doesn't like. Louis J. Gomez also has this clip where he talks about the allegations surrounding Seth, if that's interesting to you. It sucks that Seth doesn't like Louis C.K. considering how much they have in common when it comes to their weird sexual improprieties. I mean, the biggest difference between Louis and Seth, though, is Louis C.K. is actually funny and talented. All in all, what more is there to say? Seth Simons is the person who got Shane Gillis fired from SNL and pushed him down the path he's on right now, which is full of sold-out arena shows, multiple season Netflix television shows, and more comedy specials on the way. Meanwhile, Seth Simons is still doing his gay-ass spoken bird poetry to try and get people more successful than him in trouble. Seth does have a superpower, though. He can walk into any building at any given time and dry up every woman's pussy in a matter of seconds. That's pretty damn impressive. Here's the last thing I'll leave you guys with about Seth Simons.
Ladies and gentlemen, this man is for the birds.
Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and learned something. I had to cover Seth Simons and how him getting Shane fired led to Shane's success, and I hope you really enjoyed it. Leave your thoughts on all this in the comments down below, and if you enjoyed, make sure to leave me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you're new, and hype the video to help more people see it. And if you want more content from me, click the link on your screen now to check out a recent video where I talk about the ruthless rise and fall of Bill Burr. Hit the link to check that out now. Other than that, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and God bless.